In his district, HDRAs and other members of the military police brigade dig out survivors from the ripper left behind by the walking wall titans. The titans are not hostile to humans and are walking in a line that will take them away from the island. But the human population is split over Eren Yeager's actions in walking them. Some blame Eren for the deaths caused by the crumbling walls, and others defend them as an acceptable sacrifice. Seeing the civilians being to clash, one of the MBS tells Hitch to return to headquarters to bring back recruiters and weapons. While she organizes the artifact, she notices a trail of liquid on the floor coming from the basement and then ending at a closed door. Hitch opens the door and is immediately assaulted by Annie, who threatens to cut open her neck using her ring with an integrated blade. However, Hitch is able to break free and throw Annie over her shoulder. Hitch panics, trying to think of a way to restrain Annie before she transforms, only to realize that Annie has already injured herself and can turn into the female Titan at any time. Annie uses this to threaten Hitch into buying her, but Hitch calls her bluff, claiming that Annie is too weak to do that right now. Someone knocks on the door asking Hitch if she is alright, as Hitch makes up her mind. A short time later, Hitch and Annie are in the stables, where Hitch prepares a horse so Annie can leave. She claims this works out for her since she will no longer have to stand guard over Annie's resting place in the basement, and Annie replies that this way she will no longer have to listen to Hitch talk about men either. Surprised, Hitch realizes that Annie has been conscious the entire 4 years she has been inside her crystal. Annie describes it like being in a dream, and she would hear both Hitch and Armin, as if they were far away. She then found herself thrown out of her slumbers as she heard Eren's voice. Annie asks if he is serious about destroying the world with the rumbling. Hitch says he is, and as they ride out, she tells Annie to look at the Titan's wake. She feels that the only worthwhile job she has done as a soldier has been to clean up corpses and rubble. In the aftermath of both Annie and Eren, Hitch asks Annie how she feels seeing all the bodies trampled for the sake of her plan, and Annie says she had a lot of time to think about it while she was in her crystal, and she realizes how little the warrior unit threw out at all. They were praised for killing anyone outside of Marley's borders and saw themselves as atoning for their deaths as Illidians. But even though the warriors were supposed to stop the rumbling, Annie tells Hitch that she never cared about saving the world. Annie was appointed shortly after birth due to a blood test that showed her mother having an affair with an Illidian, and she was adopted by an Illidian man from another country. He trained her mercilessly to become a warrior in order to improve his own lot in life, and she paid him back by making sure he could never walk properly again. Despite that, he was happy because it meant she could kill her enemies even unarmed. Because of her training, everything stopped mattering to Annie, even her own life, until the morning the warriors were to head to Paradise Island to retake the founding Titan. That was when her father apologizes to her and said that everything he taught her had been wrong. None of what she had earned them, her statue as a warrior or being honorary Marleyan citizens, mattered as long as she came back to him. Annie tells Hitch that her father is waiting for her and others have people just as important to them too. She knows she has committed irredeemable sins, but thinks that she would still do them if it meant returning to her father. Hitch appreciates Annie's opinions with her, but is afraid that at this point, if Annie gets back, all she will find will be rubble and corpses. Meanwhile, in Lipuria, the Illidians in the entertainment zone bunch up around the public security authorities at the gate. Annie's father is at their head and tries to explain to the security officer that Eren Yeager is coming and he activated the rumbling. However, the officers are skeptical and accuses the Illidians of conspiring to escape. They begin to arrest the Illidians present, but Mr. Leonard thinks of his daughter and her promises to return, which drives him to fight back. Back in Shingeki district, Katie Schatz and a few of trainees overhang gunfire from the Yeagers who have gathered to take over the fort. Sorma suggested that they run, but Keith argues against it. Since the people support the Yeagerists will soon take over the island, and there will no longer be a place for people like Keith. He tells the trainees to side with the Yeagerists to keep themselves safe and then rise up when the opportunity comes. Elsewhere in Shingeki, Armin prepares to chase after Connie in order to save Falco. Even it might not work out, he feels obligated to do everything he can in order to win Gabby Prune's trust. Reiner and the Car Titan are still somewhere in the area, and having Gabby on their side could make a difference in whether the two groups could work together. and would rather not be doing this, but if he does not, it could have a massive effect on humanity's future. As he gets up to leave, Mikasa Ackerman asks him what she should do, and Armin tells her to help Jan and to think for herself for once. When she asks him about Eren, Armin blows up in frustrations over their collective's helplessness and how many people are still in danger. He is clearly overwhelmed and tells Mikasa that they are no longer in a place to think about Eren, who is a lost cause. When Mikasa apologizes, Armin catches himself and lamentates that he was the one saved instead of Erwin. Erwin would not have snapped like that after Armin leaves. Mikasa notices that the scarf she had previously set aside is now gone. Outside, the Plowsy family is seeing Gabi off, and Arthur Plowsy assures her that Connie would hesitate to feed Falco to his mother, so she should be able to make it in time to save him. Faya says farewell to Maya and impresses Gabi revealed her real name. Gabi then rides away with Armin. Falco shoots one of the anti-Marlene voluntaries in the hand to enforce their new positions with the Jaegerists. He explains that Eren told him of his plan to manipulate Zeke Yeager 10 months ago, and Falco rounded up commanders to help Eren cause. Flock tells the volunteers that protecting their homelands is now a lost case, but they will be welcomed as Eldians if they choose to fight for the sake of the island. When the volunteer he previously maimed objects, Flock shoots him in the head even as he praised him for refusing to submit in the face of a bullet. However, Flock says that pride is not worth dying for, and that submission is okay. He gives orders to the volunteers to be taken to their cells where they will have time to think. Mikasa comes up the stairs to see the volunteers being led away and asks what happened. Flock summarizes his stance that Eren is wiping out the problems outside of the island, as Flock sees his own rule as wiping out any resentment that remains inside of it. He tells Mikasa and a shell-shocked Jan that this is freedom and that they don't have to fight any longer. Flock reminds Jan of his dreams to become an MP and tells him that he can do that now, but insults Gan's former attitude after Gan asks if their fight is over. Mikasa then asks what happened to Hangi and Levi, and Flock tells her that they were killed by Zeke. Out in the windlass, Connie is riding with Falco under the pretend that he is taking Falco to safety so he can get his anemia treated. Falco is grateful since he has a gap in his memory of what happened after meeting up with Gabi and his older brother, Colt. However, he cannot shake the feeling that he has met Connie before. Also in the wilderness, Vicky and Magath watch the Marley airships retraining. Magath thinks it's a smart move since they can warn the rest of the country about what happened, but Vicky is demoralized since there is no longer a way to stop the marching wall titans. Hangi calls out to the two of them and Vicky, still partially inside her titan, moves to attack. When Hangi asks for them to wait, Hangi emphasizes that they are unarmed and motions to a sled being pulled by a horse, saying that the Marlins do not need to worry about their companion either, since he is a harmless man who refuses to die.